And now let's go out to the airport and see what's going on in the LCC Flight Technology Department. Since 1967, LCC students have been experiencing the thrill of flight. Recently, we talked with Bob Farrand, interim director of the department, about Flight Tech's unique place in Northwest education.
Well, we're the only one in the state of Oregon that has a completely self-contained professional pilot program. A beginning student that goes all the way through the two-year program, classes, flight fees, and associated expenses will have invested about $20,000 by the time they complete the program. However, our program is in the professional pilot spectrum, reasonably inexpensive. Comparable programs where students fly comparable hours in comparable aircraft nationwide would run normally from $25,000 to $40,000 and some going up to $100,000 for the same quality of training. We commonly get referrals from graduates that were in our program 15 and 20 years ago. We do have graduates flying for most of the major carriers, United, Delta, Northwest Airlines. We had several for Continental and Eastern before those companies changed hands with the instability in the industry as a whole. But we do get contacts and visits from our graduates from 15 and 20 years ago, and it's completing a loop now that's helping our new people. Our students start flying in a Cessna 152, which is a two-place airplane of approximately 100 horsepower, and they fly this for their primary training leading to the private license, which allows them to carry passengers. They obtain approximately 60 hours in the Cessna 152, and they advance to a Piper Warrior, which is a four-place airplane that has 160 horsepower, and they fly this airplane for the middle portion of the program, another 2 or 3 terms. They finish the last 2 terms principally flying under instrument flight rules or IFR in the clouds in our Piper Arrows, which are a high-performance retractable gear aircraft, cruises about 170 miles an hour. We also have a multi-engine aircraft that some students elect to qualify in when they graduate from our normal commercial curriculum. The aircraft we operate have been acquired over the last 20 years by money paid from our students, by our students, for the flight training they receive here. The aircraft are not paid for by the college general fund at all. They are strictly a result of savings from flight fees that students have paid over the last quarter century, and we now own 12 fixed-wing aircraft and a helicopter.
Helicopters are much more versatile than airplanes. They don't need a runway to land. They can land on top of a mountain or in a confined area in the woods, and I'm just really amazed at their versatility and their maneuverability. I'd like to get my flight instructor rating and work as a flight instructor and use that to build up my time, build up my hours, and when I become more experienced, I hope to gain some experience in jet helicopters and work maybe as a charter pilot.
The traditional stereotype as aviation being limited to the masculine gender is being disproved. The women are doing fine, and it's an excellent time in the industry for a young woman that has the appropriate qualifications to get started. A young woman today has a much better chance, statistically, since there are fewer qualified women than men, to get a good job with the airlines. I was visited earlier this term by a young lady, Jackie Robertson, that graduated from our program about 10 years ago. She flies 747s for United Airlines out of San Francisco. One of the courses we have, however, in the program is called General Aviation Careers. And once a week for a term, different professionals in a variety of aviation occupations come and talk to the students about their particular area of expertise and allow the students time to ask questions. So they have an opportunity to see that there are many jobs in aviation other than the airlines. And not all of them continue with their original idea of being an airline pilot.
Well, to start out, I'd really enjoy to teach people how to fly and get a little more experience that way, and then gradually work into the airlines, and that's kind of like a long-term goal of mine. But to get in the airlines, they're looking for around 1,000 hours to 1,500 hours of total time, and that's for like a commuter airline like Horizon Airlines.
Our pilots learn to fly in aircraft that are well suited for their training needs. When they leave our program, they'll spend 2 to 5 years working in piston and then later in turbine aircraft for smaller companies before they gain the experience that's necessary by industry job standards to obtain airline employment. When they are hired by an airline or company that operates a large aircraft, they will be trained to fly that particular kind of aircraft. So they receive very adequate training here, and conversations with our graduates of the last 10 to 15 years that are now flying for the major airlines confirm this. Commonly, beginning pilots assume from years of watching television and movies that aircraft are very unstable and you have to fly them with both hands and you can't let go for a moment. But they discover on their first flight that the airplane is designed to be stable, and in fact, in normal flight conditions, you can trim the airplane and fly it hands off, and it'll do just fine. So the students learn very quickly that their preconceived notions about how airplanes fly are generally incorrect. The airplanes are designed to be stable and user-friendly, to use current parlance. We have this year assembled the best qualified team of professional flight instructors I think we've ever had. All instructors on our professional flight staff now are qualified for instrument as well as VFR flight and flight instruction. They are qualified also and FAA certified as ground instructors for both VFR and IFR flight theory. So it's the first time in the quarter-century history of the program we've had a group of instructors that had all of those qualifications. They're doing a good job, and I'm very proud of them.
Reporting from the Lane Community College Flight Technology Center, I'm Mary Clayson.